that complicate your job ahead of such a big game here?
Not much, really. I mean, the complication comes just making sure that the Dave's staff gets them physically ready. We've played Kansas City. I mean, at the end of the year, you kind of know most of the stuff that sure, we're going to watch for any set pieces they might throw in or subtle shifts in tactics, but we've played them, so we kind of know them, so it's not a huge thing. Obviously, with the importance of the game, we will go over every single little detail, so that adds a little bit of time to my day, but we know Kansas City, we know Peter, we kind of know what to expect.
For sure, and played them and struggled against them a little bit. Is that a cause for concern?
No, I think this is a different group. I mean, it's definitely different than the game in July. It's a different group.
Brian, on Sunday you talked about you were going to take a look at the film. Anything surprise you, or just as you thought you were just going back after they'd scored, as you mentioned?
Again, I wasn't, even when I watched it on film, I wasn't happy with giving up the goal right away. What I was concerned mostly about, though, was, again, just making sure that we are able to continue finding rhythm to our game and playing and just, developing a few more chances. I mean, we know Kansas City's pretty stingy on defense, and we've got to create, 10, 15, 18 quality chances or shots, whatever up there, whatever statistic you want to prove. I mean, wide channel, play, open crosses, all those things. We need to be dangerous. And I think that, in the second half of the last couple games, we haven't found our rhythm, and that's what we'll be working on.
And is that example, you've talked about the wings going down. Is that an example where you can be dangerous to flanks coming back with Jovi and Jones and all that?
Well, okay, it can't come in a ton of different forms. I mean, we had a lead, RSL's pressing. Can we be a little bit more effective with our countering? Because Jordy has qualities that we all see, so can we be more effective there? Can we, when I brought Nelson on, can he do a good job of, holding up possession and taking some of the pressure off us defensively by, keeping the ball? Those are the things that concern us.
With Ozzy being hurt for these last two playoff runs, how big do you think it's going to be to kind of have him ready to go for this year, and what are your impressions of how he's feeling physically at this point in the season?
Physically, he's great. And you guys can be the judge of that. You guys have seen it. He's pushed his name into, MVP for our team for sure, conversation. He's playing at a very high level, so I'm very happy to have him back.
Did you guys do anything different training with him this year, or kind of alter how you do that to make sure that he's healthy and could kind of sustain the season and through the playoffs?
I think I said it a while back. I think Dave and his staff have done a really good job with Ozzy, but then it's also Ozzy making sure that he actually does what they are telling him to do. And we've made sure he's been a good pro, and what Dave has outlined, Ozzy's completed. And look, injuries are part of the game. Sometimes they happen, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they happen to even the fittest guys. But this year it seems like everything has come together, and Ozzy's enjoying this really nice run of form.
Does this playoff field feel especially wide open to you? It seems like there's no real clear-cut front runner, especially in the West, in a way that there had been the last couple of years.
Well, I'd have to think back or look back on the last couple of years. Matt, my memory's not as good as yours, but yeah, I think any team out of this field can push deep into this playoffs. I would agree with you there.
Does that give you an extra level of belief that your guys can go and do that?
We already believe we can do it. It doesn't give us an extra. I think the guys are confident that they can go far in the playoffs.
Coach, how's Andreas coming along?
He's out here jogging, but it's a tricky injury, so the timeline for him is just keep pushing, and when he's ready, we'll play.
And if he can't go, Christian had a really good game on the outside. You slotted Freeberg in the middle. Is that a possibility for Thursday?
Sure, but I got tons of possibilities for Thursday. And Brad looked good out there, so I mean, we'll make that decision tomorrow.
how does having Roldan out wide change the way the team performs on the field and sliding Freeberg back there with Ozzy?
Not much. I mean, Christian is very versatile, and that first goal came from he and Tyrone playing a little 2 against 2 out there. It was always, just who was the best pair with Ozzy. Freeberg had played earlier in the year. He had some injuries. Eric's now on a good run of form, so I have confidence in Eric fitting in there. Christian out here, Christian here, Brad, any one of those options. I mean, Nico's played out wide right. When Clint was here, so we've got tons of options out right.
Going back to the question about Ozzy, you said a good partner. What's a good partner for Ozzy then? Just go back on your comment.
Well, they're all good partners for Ozzy. I mean, I'd hesitate to say this is what we need to have to play next to Ozzy, because this game is too fluid. Our team is too good to just box that into something. Christian has tendencies. Freeberg has tendencies. Even late in games when we played, switched formations, Nico's played next to him. So it just all depends.
Fair enough.
Do you guys think that there's probably a little more pressure on Kansas City, knowing what you guys will do, since it was after the last time you guys played them that you made the coaching changes and the team kind of had its turnaround?
I don't think Peter will feel pressure. What I think, and I don't want to speak for you, Pete, but we rewatched that Portland match from last year, which was a playoff game away from home, a play-in game away from home, where they lost in the 10th round of the penalty kicks. I'm sure he wants to make sure that doesn't happen to his team again. But it's just a good reminder that anything can happen in this league, and I'm sure he'll have his team prepared, and I'm gonna have my team prepared.